So my name is Geoff Harrison. I'm the creative director at Blink. Blink is a user experience research and design firm based in Seattle. It's been great. We've had so far just 3 speakers, but all of them definitely talking about topics that are near and dear to our hearts and really interesting ways to think about these topics. Our customers are starting to think more about the overall customer experience. Thinking of having empathy for their users, thinking about how their users are interacting with their products and brands more holistically. So it's interesting to see the shift from sort of designing products to designing these overall experiences. So if you think about, fitness companies now are more thinking about not just selling shoes and clothes, but they're selling fashion and they're selling fitness. They're selling bands that connect their customers to how they're working out. It's the overall experience that's starting to feed into the way a company markets their products and relates to their customers. Car companies used to sell cars, now they sell mobility. Right? They sell connected devices in the car. The car talks to the internet. You can get your personal information into the car. It's now a personalized car. I can communicate through it. I can get information through it. It's a completely connected experience, and it connects me not only to the car, but to my social network and to my world. Right. So we're seeing that in our business more and more, where customers that are coming to us to help them design products or get feedback on their products have to think about. We can't just think about the product and, this product, can you please evaluate our product on the mobile device? Well, it has to relate. How's the bigger ecosystem of, when do people experience it on the mobile device? When do they experience it on a tablet? When do they experience it on a desktop? Or, and what is the context of that use? And plus, not only that, but how does that relate to my overall world, right? How am I seeing your product or service inside of what I do, right? Which gets into sort of the empathy for the user and how they think about products in different contexts. One thing we use a lot is when we think about the overall customer experiences is creating experience maps, for one thing, right? So to think about one thing experience map will do is allow us to see things in different stages of how customer interacts with something. So you've got a beginning stage where someone might be, for instance, just starting to use the product. Its initial stages to, more complex usage and more complex interactions once they get it set up. And you've got to think about these contexts and sort of map it out. And from these experience maps, you can create more design roadmaps, right, into the products that it's going to affect. When you think about consistency on different devices, the one thing that sort of stitches it together is the customer experience. What is that point they are in the life cycle? Whether I'm accessing it from a mobile device, a tablet, or a desktop, it's all about what my perspective is on the service. So it's important to be able to know who you are as the customer, what your experience has been, and being able to relate the experience to you. And so we often think about these things as experiences when we map them out and think about scenarios as more about the scenario itself, about what someone's trying to do with the product, and then think about the devices that it needs to be implemented on. And in that way, when we're thinking about it more as the vision of what it needs to be, and then mapping it to devices, it becomes more of a consistent experience. Really, the overarching thought around this is, what is the experience, not what is the device that's going to be consumed on. So far the content has really been about empathy for the user and thinking about holistic customer visions. And we see that very much in line with what we're seeing in our business and what our customers need to be thinking about. And I'm really excited to hear more insights. I got a great one early this morning with Jack Dorsey, just talking about, I wrote these big letters on my notepad about the receipts, the after experience, right? Someone has just done a transaction, how important, looking for the little things that you might think are mundane, but can really enhance the experience. And so I'm already starting to get some big ideas out of little words like that and just thinking about, parts of the experience. So I'm really excited to hear, more about that.